two days before she passed, she was right here praying for people, and just she lived a vibrant life, and we just celebrate who my mother was. I mean,
This is the story of Dodie Osteen, a woman whose faith touched millions and whose legacy lives on. In August 2025, Joel Osteen shared a heartfelt tribute to his beloved mother, Dodie Osteen, who lived an extraordinary 91 years. This is not just a story of loss, it's a story of faith, love, and a life fully lived. Joel began his tribute with gratitude for his mother's long, vibrant life. Joel admitted he didn't even know where to start describing her because so many knew her as an amazing, loving woman. She had once said she wanted to live into her 90s, and she did. But she didn't just make it through, she lived vibrantly. In fact, just a year earlier, Joel had celebrated her 90th birthday at Lakewood Church. Joel smiled as he remembered how strong she was at 90. For years, every Monday night, he and his mother would have dinner together at Cleburne Cafeteria, right across the street from the church. She was proud of her children, sometimes even more than they deserved, Joel joked. When Joel's father passed away and he stepped into leadership at Lakewood, his mother's support never wavered. That loyalty, Joel believes, helped shape everything Lakewood Church became. Then came her final days. Just a week before she passed, Joel had dinner with her. 6 days later, his sister called to say their mom wasn't feeling well. Joel phoned her that evening. She told him she was fighting a little bit of nausea. Having seen her beat cancer 3 times and recover from surgeries, he thought it was just another fight.
my mom lived an amazing 91 years, and of course we're sad that she's gone, but my goodness, two days before she passed, she was right here praying for people, and just she lived a vibrant life, and we just celebrate who my mother was. I mean, I think you'll hear some stories, but my mom was a lady of powerful prayer. She believed in, that God could do miracles. She loved to reach out and touch others, and just, I don't even know where to start with my mom, because most of you knew her, and, she's just an amazing woman. I was reviewing some of the footage for tonight's event, and there's a couple clips I wanted to show you because I thought they were kind of significant. So she spoke here, I think, in 2012. Take a look at this clip if you would.
I'm so thankful that Jesus let me live, because there could have been a day when I'd have never seen this building, I'd have never seen my grandchildren, I'd never seen some of the children married, but God had other plans.
She went on to say, they didn't show you the whole clip, but she went on to say, is that the one? She went on to say she wanted to live into her 90s, and you know what? God gave her the desires of her heart, and she lived, and she didn't, she just didn't make it through. She lived vibrantly. But a couple of years ago, we celebrated her 90th birthday here on the platform. I wanted you to see that as well. 90 years old.
I think the main thing that I've learned is to love people, because people are hurting. And, we don't know what somebody else is going through, but if you love them, if you give them a smile, if you give them a hug, that's about all you can do. And I remember when we started to marry, I said, John, I can't do what other pastors' wives do. I don't sing, I don't play the piano, I don't speak. He said, I'm not marrying you for that, Dodie. He said, I'm marrying you to love me. So I just made up my mind when we started pastoring, when I was 22 or 3, just to love people. That's all I could do, was to love people. And you know what? It worked. So just try it.
I love that. You think about, though, 90 years old, she's still just so strong. And, my mom, last 4 or 5 years, every Monday night we would go to dinner together, and my mom liked to go to Cleburne Cafeterias right across the street. I see my friend George that owns it, and just beautiful people over there. But my mom was very proud of her children, and she thought we were all great, a lot greater than we were. But we'd go to the cafeteria on Monday nights, and she'd tell me every time we pull in, she said, Joel, every time we come in here, everybody looks at you, and they all know you, and they all start. I'm not being overly humble, but half the people in there did not know who I was. But my point is my mother believed in you. And, I love the fact that even I was talking earlier to Pastor Jensen when my dad transitioned and, went to be with the Lord, and, we took over Lakewood, Victoria and I, along with, my whole family. But I remember one thing is my mom, I'd say, Mama, we're thinking about doing this or doing that. You know what our answer always was? Joel, whatever you feel like God's telling you to do, you do it, and I'll get behind you. I don't think we'd be where we are today if my mom hadn't been so loyal and so just supportive and just behind her children. So I honor my mom, and it's funny, it's not funny, but it was Tuesday night, a couple weeks ago now, and Well, Lisa called me that Tuesday and said, Joel, Mom's not feeling well. I was just coming in from out of town, and, we had gone to dinner just, 6 days before. And anyway, I gave her a call at 8 o'clock that Tuesday evening. I said, Mom, what's going on? And she said, well, Joel, I'm fighting a little bit of nausea. And just, but my mom was a fighter. I'd seen her go through surgeries, fight cancer 3 times. So I thought, this is another fight. I hate seeing my mom like that. But it was just, it's just like a virus that came on that day. So anyway, I called her at 8 o'clock at night, and, that couple of hours later, she just breathed her last breath in her own home and went to be with the Lord. And, I forgot to tell you this part of the story. I said, Mama, before I hung up, I said, Mama, good night. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. She said, Joel, good night. I love you too. And never dreaming that would be the last words I'd ever speak to my mom. But I told the church Sunday, losing a loved one's never easy, but it makes it a lot less difficult when you have no regrets. When people know that you love them. I know my mom I know she knew I loved her, and I know, that she loved me. And I think one thing we can take from my mom's life is, life can be short. There's no guarantee. It's too short to let petty things pull us apart. Take time for the people God's given you in your life to love, and, make the most of it and cherish those memories. And let's believe that you're going to see the goodness of God in your family as well. But we're so honored to have you all here. I see so many longtime friends, and just my mom would be so proud tonight. But thank you. You've honored us by coming tonight.
Dodie Osteen's story is more than just the legacy of a pastor's wife. It's the testimony of a life poured out in love and faith. And that is something worth celebrating.